Okay, sorry about that. So negative infinity to 25 thirds, bracket because it's closed. And then because it's a combination of two things, it's going to be the union. And then we go 5 to infinity, parentheses. Okay, so in this one, we cannot do our work line graph until we have the absolute value by itself. So I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides. So I get the absolute value of 3x minus 4 is greater than or equal to 18 minus 3 would be 15. Now I can make my work line graph and see what I need. This one is greater, so if it's greater, it's got to be further away from the center. So it's this one. So this means I'm going to have two inequalities. I'm going to have 3x minus 4 is less than or equal to negative 15, and 3x minus 4 is greater than or equal to positive 15. So to solve this one, I'm going to add 4 to both sides. So I get 3x is less than or equal to negative 11. Divide by 3. So on this one, I get x is less than or equal to negative 11 thirds. Over here, I'm going to add 4. So I get 3x is greater than or equal to 11. Oh, geez, I did not add. I apologize. I subtracted 19. Divide by 3. So x is greater than or equal to 19 thirds. So put those two numbers on the number line. We're going to have closed circles because it was greater than or equal to. And now we have to shade away. And because we shaded two things, we're going to have two intervals. One is going to be negative infinity to 11 thirds. Oops, I meant that to be a bracket. Union with 19 thirds to positive infinity. Okay, this one, we're going to skip a little bit, but let's get it started. So we're going to divide by 2. So I get the absolute value x plus 7 is less than 12. So if I'm putting this on my work line graph, if it's less than 12, it's going to be smaller than, so it's going to be closer to 0. So it's going to be in this region. So it's going to be in the middle. So when I solve that, that's going to be one compound inequality. So I'm going to have negative 12 is less than x plus 7, which is less than positive 12. So here I'm going to subtract 7 from both sides. So I get negative 19 is less than x, which is less than, just kidding, 5. And that's what answer goes there. Shade in the middle, one interval notation. Okay, let's skip ahead to this one. Let's see what happens here. On this one, to get the absolute value by itself, I have to divide both sides by negative 3. So I get the absolute value of 2x minus 4 is less than or equal to, less than. But here's the catch. What I'm dividing by this time is a negative. And when you've got inequalities and you divide by a negative, you cannot keep that inequality the same. You have to flip it. And negative 27 divided by negative 3 is positive 9. Now I can go to my work line graph. And now instead of being less than, now it's greater. So I need all the numbers that are further away. So this time, when I'm writing my inequalities or rewriting them, I would have to write 2. So I have 2x minus 4 is less than negative 9, and 2x minus 4 is greater than positive 9. Okay. And then you can continue on to get your answers and fill them in. Let's see what happens over here. Over here, I have to get the absolute value by itself first. So I'm going to add 4 to both sides. So I have negative 2 times the absolute value of 2x minus 4 is greater than or equal to 32. It's still not by itself. So I'm going to divide by negative 2. So now I have the absolute value of 2x minus 4. But I divided by a negative. What I'm dividing by is negative, so it flips the inequality. So I have less than or equal to negative 16. Wait a second. If I'm going to go put this on my graph, can I be a negative 16 units away from anything? No way. So this one is no solution. All right, one last one over here. It's by itself. So we go straight to our work number line. If it's less than, we know it's going to have to be in between, right? So we have this. All right, so that means when I write it, I'm going to write as one compound inequality. So I have negative 25 is less than negative 2x plus 9, which is less than 25. So now to solve, I'm going to subtract 9 from both sides. Negative 25 and negative 9 is negative 34 is less than negative 2x, which is less than 16. So now to solve, I'm going to divide everything by negative 2. But be careful when you divide by a negative 2, remember it flips the inequality. So now I have positive 17 is greater than x, which is greater than negative 8, which is a true statement. But when you write your inequality notation, you cannot have compound inequalities with greater than symbols. They need to be less than. So we have to flip it and write negative 8 is less than x, which is less than 17. So when we graph that, we're going to have open circles. It's everything in between. And the interval notation would be negative 8 to 17.